Hi guys, welcome back to Harry Makes Up. Today I kind of just started doing my everyday makeup and I was sitting down and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to film this because a lot of you guys have been asking questions about my updated routine, the products I'm using, and I've actually been experimenting a lot with a couple of additions of organic based and natural based products in my personal makeup bag. So I'm kind of testing them out for my kit and working with new clients, but I also wanted to just have a little look at what could fit into my lifestyle and my makeup and work for me, especially as I like dewy skin, I like real looking skin, and a lot of natural formulas are made with things like coconut oils and jojoba oils. So I thought it'd be good to experiment with some different brands, check them out and report back to you guys. So like I said, not everything in this is organic or natural, but there are some additions and I'll explain as we go along which one's which. So I've been starting every day still, as I now live in LA, with some SPF, and at the minute I'm really liking the Nuke Sun. This one is the SPF 30. This one is the creme, let's do the English version, Delicious Cream for Face High Protection. Really like that. It's got a nice scent to it. I just smooth that all over. And then the foundation I'm still loving actually. I go backwards and forwards between my YSL On Credit Pro Cushion Foundation when I want something that feels a little bit more, it's still a very natural foundation, but I like that for evening. For daytime, I feel like the biggest change in my current makeup as well has actually been using my fingers more to do my makeup. So there's a lot less brushes in this. So I've got the Kogan Dough Moisture Foundation. Absolutely love this. I think this is such a good foundation, especially if you want real looking skin, you just want a little bit of a glow. I'm really into kind of seeing my pores at the minute, and I think it's just getting older. I'm getting more and more accepting. I'm embracing my natural hair texture. I just leave it wet, put a bit of that wave spray in and leave it to dry. So I've got like a pea size amount and I just go in with fingers. I start in the center of my face and just work it in, and I just find it gives, you can see it kind of works with any moisturizer underneath or like a glowing primer. It's not about coverage, but that's not really what I look for in my personal choice of foundation. So I just like to I just work it in the same way I would do a moisturizer, to be honest. But I really love this, and I just think, and it holds out pretty well as well. It's just that kind of like slight tint to the skin. Let's take some of these little comedy, how cute are these? A hair friend gave me these little like, I think they're like shampoo bottles. We're just gonna pin some hair back, which is now gonna make me look like I've got some kind of crazy Snapchat filter on. The next thing I tend to do, I feel like I always do my makeup in like weird random orders, there's not really a way, is I'm going to use my brow pencil, and I feel like for all the ones I've been using, I still come back to this Ardell one. It's in the shade Blonde, definitely quite dark for blondes. But it works really well, and I find it's just a really long wearing formula. So I've just been going in, and I don't really have much on the outer corner of my brows, and I have two quite different brow shapes. So I just use this to kind of fill in and thicken a little bit. I just really love the color on this. I feel like it's a really good kind of cool toned brown. There's no warmth in it, but it's nearly identical to the color of my hairs naturally. So that's my brows with a little bit of shape added, and some new additions. There's quite a lot of new additions in today's makeup bag, one of which is, in here somewhere, is Glossier. Now, I have finally got my hands on some Glossier pieces. You guys have been asking my advice for this for a while now. I've been loving it in my kit, in my pro kit, and there's some pieces that I've still got more to try and play with, but the pieces that I know I'm happy to recommend at this point. I bought the Phase 2 set, I think it's called, where you get the brow, the concealer, and a Generation G lipstick. So I have Boy Brow in brown. Now this is super long wearing, and I think the trick with this is just to take quite a bit of the product off first on the back of your hand, because it is very waxy and there is fibers in it, so you can kind of build, but I still find I have to put a little bit of the end of my arch on because I don't really have a lot of brow there. So I've just been using this, just push it up a little bit for it. It's as close as I can get to like a big, bold, fluffy brow. So just keep going in and like working over the hairs. And it is really good. And that's kind of it. I just feel like it really tidies the brow. It sets it in place, and it just gives my hairs a little bit of direction, which I don't really have if I just use a pencil. So one of the other new products that I've been absolutely loving is by Gillian Dempsey, and this is her lid tint. Now I bought these in violet grey. You can buy directly from her website, and it is just like a really beautiful sheer lid tint. It doesn't set, but I've got to be honest, I feel like I know most people want shadows that don't crease, but I actually really like the way eyeshadow looks when it creases. I just think it looks really cool, really effortless, and I've just been popping this on my finger, and then I literally just swipe it across, and it just gives my my lids a little bit of depth, which I really, really like. And I mean, I always love a wet look lid, it's just my personal preference. I mean, I've been loving these as well in my pro kit, and if you want that like really lovely like rock and roll eye where it just looks easy and effortless, just put this over the top of any eyeshadow and it looks incredible. But I just love the aesthetic of this. I feel like it's a really simple idea done well, and I just love it. There's no glitter in it, it's just a really beautiful cream sheen, and then with a clean finger I just kind of blend it out, and it's as simple as that really. But I just like that it gives my eye a bit of something. It's like the quickest smoky eye ever. I mean, you could literally just do that and just wear mascara, and it would look equally as good, but I still have a little bit of a Harry flick going on. So I've still been curling my lashes at this point, so I just go in with my lash curler and just do a little bit of a squeeze. Give my lashes a little lift. The other good thing as well, actually, when you are wearing something like this eyeglass, is you can just kind of like throughout the day just like reset it with your finger. You can just be like do do do, and you know, re-smudge it out, remove it, and obviously it's very easy to reapply because you can just keep it on you and kind of tap it on again with your finger, build up the depth. But the whole point of these is that they're just a tint, they're just a sheer lid tint, which I love. So the soft Harry flick, a lot of you guys have been asking me about this. Let me check. I have the two things that have been achieving this look. There's my little brush. So 2 products. I think as well this is a great idea personally if you really struggle with a flick liner and you want to have something like a flick or that kind of elongated shape to your eyes. If you want to make them more almond, this is a really good trick. So I'm using one of the Chanel, this is the Stylos Yeux waterproof pencil. This one is 929 Agape, which sadly I don't think is available any longer. I had it from the Rouge collection, but I just love a shimmery brown. So it's even still the same color as what I normally do with my Kiko liner. However, the Chanel formula of this, they do have one called Espresso, which is a matte dark brown, which is also beautiful, so you could use that. So again, I'm just going to show you how like easy and foolproof this is. I just run it all along. I just run it all along my lash line, not very perfectly. I just get a bit of definition, and I put a little bit extra pigment on the outer corner. And then I've got this amazing brush, which I have a feeling may have been in a Bobbi Brown kit I bought at the airport from World Duty Free. It is like a retractable pen, and it says cream smudge on one end and ultra fine on the other end. If I can find a link to this or the kit it came from, I'll link it below. So you have one end that's really soft and fluffy. So I just go over and like smudge that in a bit to the gloss, which again, as the gloss like all meshes and moves together, it just looks, I love the way this looks. So 2 about there, and then like a lip brush, it has like a pop-up fine liner point, which I just think is genius. So with this, to create the kind of smudgy Harry flick, you just want to pull it outwards, and it's so easy. Like even if you made a mistake or you felt like it wasn't right, you could very easily just take a Q-tip and, you know, just kind of rechange the shape. You could take some out, and then what I kind of tend to do is either go back over it with the pencil or just take a bit of the pencil directly on this brush just to add a little bit more depth to the flick. And if you really wanted this to kind of not move about, or you know, you could set it with a powder, but I think it kind of defeats the point, and it's kind of what I love about this look, is just using this brush. So you still got that flick, but also you can go back to this kind of softer edge, just soften it a little bit, so it's not even like a full flick, it's just a very soft bit of definition. And you know, it's also worth me noting, you don't have to have the gloss underneath. You could do this exact same technique just on a dry eyelid and it works just as well. You can keep going back in and kind of add more perfection to the flick, but I think for me it's the softness is what I really love about it. So I'm just making it a little bit pointier at the edge, just so there's that shape, and then still keeping it really blurred and soft on top. So I'm still loving the Bourjois Volume Reveal Mascara. This one is in the waterproof version, and I just find, again, this doesn't interact with the gloss or make it move or make the mascara fall down, so I just add lots of this. I love a good amount of mascara. I feel like it just really opens up the eyes. So that's the eyes pretty much done. Super simple. I can smush it back in my fingers at any point. In terms of touch-ups, I can pretty much just take the Chanel Kohl and just kind of run it back over my lash line if I need to, and kind of re-smudge the gloss back in. And it really works for me. This is a look that I know not everyone will love, but I just love the simplicity of it, and that I can kind of just move things back into place. If it's working and it looks cool and lived in, then I'll leave that too. So one thing I've really learned to embrace is that living in a hot country, I just am gonna be sweaty anyway. It's kind of that thing that, like, you know, I don't wanna be reapplying powder and it going cakey all day and keep trying to like fight the shine. So I think I've just gone, like, I've upped my shine levels even more, and I feel okay with that. I feel like I look glowy, I look healthy. And for me, the Glossier Stretch Concealer and the RMS Uncover Up Concealer both do very similar things. The Glossier one is a very, very sheer formula, as is the RMS, but you can build the coverage. And again, I think as I get older, I'm not so into the whole like completely eliminating every single shadow under my eye. I want to look like I'm alive, if that makes sense. So I feel like the Glossier aesthetic really, really works with my style. It really, really works with my principle and philosophy of makeup as well. So skin first, makeup second. This video isn't sponsored by Glossier in any way. I just feel like it's nice to give my 2 cents to what I think of the brand. Really, really love, even, this is kind of digressing a bit from the video, but even looking at their Instagram, they'll have pictures of their serums and, you know, a girl showing a spot still. And I love that that's not being retouched out, because I know when it comes to kind of my nieces and, you know, friends' younger daughters, I want them to see that. I want to see that it's okay to have a spot, that it's okay to have dark under eyes. And, you know, yes, it's totally fine to cover them up as well. It's totally fine to cover them up as well, but I also think it's nice to have the option that if you don't mind it so much, you don't feel that you have to cover it up. So just wanted to put that out there, but I'm going to use the Glossier one today so you guys can see it. The RMS one, so what I do is I start with the Glossier, and I tend to keep the RMS one in my bag. The RMS one is one of the organic natural brands that I've been working with a lot in my pro kit for a long time, and I don't know why, I've just never really thought to properly bring it into my own makeup. I've tried it on myself and I like it, but I just sort of always stuck with what works. And I'm really enjoying this over my face. So I actually use that one as kind of my touch up. I'll take that with me with the eyeliner. So I wear the shade medium in the Glossier concealer, and I am shade 22 in the RMS one. So I'm gonna pop it on there. So I find this is really nice and brightening, and it's just very, very moisturizing. And again, because I'm not really going crazy with the powder, it is very, very easy to touch up. And you know me, I like dewy skin. I prefer to look like I'm sweating than really, really matte. So again, I know that's not going to be everyone's taste, but I can just use that to then clean up under the eye. And because I've got a very, very sheer coverage foundation, I can just kind of blend it in anywhere that I want that little bit of coverage. But I do really, really like that concealer. I think if you have dry skin, Glossier is a brand that you're going to love. It's going to work super well for you. If you're very oily, you might struggle a little bit. There might be things you have to powder more than other products. But I feel like even if I didn't have moisturizer on, I could have this concealer in my bag and just quickly do a quick touch up, and it would be very, very easy. So you can see I'm just kind of smushing it all in. I really, really love the glow. I am all about that. Totally down with that. And I just use whatever's left really around my nose. But I really, really like that. I just think it's so hydrating. I like that I could almost use this as a foundation. I could pretty much just put moisturizer on and do dot, dot, dot. It brightens, it looks really pretty. I hope you guys can see it on my skin. And also I know a lot of people have been saying, you know, well, Glossier is not aimed at people with, you know, it's not going to be right for people with acne or people who want coverage. But I think Glossier are very honest that their brand is about sheer breathable skin. It's about skincare first before makeup. So, you know, if you do want to cover your acne, it might not be the brand that you go to. You know, there'll be other brands that will be great for you to cover skin, to cover anything redness-wise that you don't want showing, which obviously is totally fine too. So I'll pop a video up here as well, which I've done on how to cover acne and cover redness. If you want to know which products will be better at covering breakouts, acne and redness, I'll pop that somewhere up here for you. So the other new product I've absolutely been loving is a new one. So again, I've kind of been going with this thing of getting ready for work in the morning, being like, I really want minimal brushes in my makeup bag, just pretty much stuff I can do all with my fingers. but I did want a powder, and this one actually has SPF 45. It's by Supergoop. It's 100% mineral, sweat resistant, and it's called the Invincible Setting Powder. Now, again, this isn't coverage, it's an invisible powder, so it is very, very sheer, but I just like it just to knock the shine back in any areas that I don't want. You fill it with like a little refillable powder in here. So it's in a brush, and the brush is like a really nice synthetic soft bristle, so it's very easy to use. You just twist it up, and then the powder comes out of the brush, and I just really love this, just to kind of mattify any areas, so you'll see the powder like flying up now, that I don't want, so I can just knock back the shine. And also I'm getting SPF, so it's great. I just, for every day, especially now I live in a hot country, I feel like this is just such a good tool, and it's so great having this in my handbag, so you can just tap it a little bit and the product comes off. And I just use this a little bit under my eyes as well, so I do tend to set the concealer a little bit, so you can see the difference. I've still got the glow, it doesn't kind of fight the glow, but it just sets it a little bit. So just use that mostly under my eyes, and this brush is really good. It's a really soft brush. So talking of another organic brand that I have been including into my makeup bag that I'm really, really loving, I think this one might be my favorite. It is, probably going to pronounce it wrong, I did even do the thing where you press on Google for it to say it to you, and I've already forgotten it. Kaya Weiss? Please correct me down below, I won't be offended. So it is this product, and this packaging, this is an all organic brand, same as RMS, and there's no toxins, no nasties in there, free of lots of parabens, sulfates. I'm gonna do, I think, an in-depth video on kind of organic makeup at some point. If you guys would like to know more about that on natural makeup, let me know down below. But this one, I love that it's very luxe. It has that really kind of like special boudoir table, you know, your makeup table getting ready element to it. And these are all refillable, so they are eco-friendly, and I love that, you know, they're expensive, but you have quality. And this is the blush I've been absolutely loving. It's called Sun Touched, and this is their cream blush. I feel like this cream blush is just as pigmented as some of my matte blushes. So literally, I'll do like that much on my finger, and I just love this color. It's so pretty. It is literally like a peachy tan. So it just works so well. And you see, I mean, that's like way too much. It's just super, super pigmented. And I just love it. I think it's such a good cream blush. I mean, I'm really gonna have to like shear that out now. That's too much. But it's pigmented and it lasts. I feel like this one really, really catches the light. It's still, you know, you could pretty much blend this even over the top of powder if you needed to. And even like a little bit on my nose, as if I've kind of caught the sun. So what's left on my finger will just take on top of my nose. But this is such a pretty blush. I just love it. And I think the quality is incredible. I want to get my hands on some more of their products actually. I'm thinking of trying their, I think they have like a luminizer product, one that's like a highlighter, a cream highlighter, but I just think that's stunning. It makes me feel so pretty. So yeah, this is the RMS palette, and this has the Skin Salve in, the Skin and Lip Salve, which is just a clear lip balm. So let's put a little bit of that on now. And again, I like that I have a lip balm in one of my palettes, because you guys know I'm like obsessed with lip balms. So put a little bit of that on. And this has the Living Luminizer in, which I've been trying to get my hands on for ages. It also has the Magic Mixer, which again is beautiful on eyes. It has 2 lip and cheek colors. These are both absolutely beautiful, and I mix these together for the lip I'm gonna do. But the Living Luminizer, I'm gonna add some of this to the tops of my cheekbones. So beautiful. And a lot of the RMS stuff as well is actually coconut oil based. So it is very much an organic brand that, you know, it's literally very wholeheartedly natural ingredients. So I'm just going to dot that on, and it's just such a pretty highlighter. I mean, to some people this will be far too glowy, but like I said, I think you've just got to embrace the glow. That's what I've come to the conclusion of, and it's what's working for me. So I'm just going to dot a little bit extra just on the bridge of my nose. Just do the little bit on the Cupid's bow. So I take a little bit of the peach out of that RMS signature palette first, just so I have like a little bit of base color. And then I do this one, and I just mix those together. Sometimes I do put the Generation G lipstick in Cake underneath as a base. I do really like that. But that I've been loving in my editorial kit for like a blot matte stain. I absolutely love it in my editorial kit. So those 2 colors just make such a pretty like everyday nude, especially with the eye I've got. So it's like a brownie, peachy nude. No lip pencil, because who's got time for that? And that's pretty much it, guys. It's very glowy. I'm also really embracing my natural hair texture. I'm really enjoying and accepting that I can actually just do my hair in the morning, put wave spray in, and I'm done. So yeah, I used to always be very paranoid that my hair was too big, but I'm really enjoying it. So I might even shear the lip down a little bit more, but I really love this makeup. I feel pretty in it. It feels summery. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope that was helpful. I would love it if you subscribe, and I'll see you soon for more videos. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.